From the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Gardening Inside Out, a podcast with highlights from our Saturday morning live show, answering all your gardening questions, giving you plant advice for any space in your life. Let's start the show.
Hello, everyone. It's Caroline Gant.
Hello, Austin Lowen.
And Tyler Blankenship.
On our Christmas episode, the last bit of 2024.
That's right. It's the holidays. It's the holiday.
It is a crazy day. Whew. It's a wild ride out there. Oh, Christmas.
Guys.
I'm confused. I'm so confused.
I am a little bit too.
Never mind. I guess we wouldn't in our right minds be recording on Christmas Day.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But it comes out on Christmas Day. So
it's all right.
Well, we always pre-record before.
Just our Christmas episode.
Yeah, we'll just say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
All right, last time. Hello, everyone. It's Caroline Gant.
Hello, it's Austin Lowen.
And it's Tyler Blankenship.
In our Merry Christmas episode into 2024, Christmas week, it's great.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christmas time, everybody.
We're wrapping it up.
Literally.
Yes, literally
Yeah.
wrapping it up.
Well, I'm not, because I don't wrap. I just find bags.
You don't wrap?
Stuff in bags.
Have you ever wrapped a present?
Nah, well, I've attempted.
You've tried.
Uh-huh. It's not great. I'm not good at that.
I like wrapping presents. There's an art to it, but it's also, it follows very specific guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
You know how things fold. You get it folded up and taped up. Make an envelope.
I love wrapping. I'm a big fan. Unless I have too many things. Then I hit a wall and I don't want to do it anymore. And I have not wrapped anything yet.
Well, that's good.
So
That's
it's
the
about
start.
to start.
I have never tried breaking it up, by the way. I've always just done it all in one go.
Yeah.
You
That's
know.
probably the way to go. You know, I'm a 35-year-old man, and I still take presents to my mother to have her wrap them for me. So,
Open admission right there.
hey,
Yeah.
that's this guy.
At least you get to go visit her.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, she
so
loves
it's
it.
a win-win.
Yeah, we sit there, you know.
Do you bring her like some eggnog or something?
Oh, yeah, we have a couple drinks while she's wrapping, and I'm just chatting. It's a great time.
It
Love
sounds
you,
like
Mom.
a great time.
It
It's a
is.
wrapping party.
Yeah,
You get to spend the holidays with Mom and get your stuff wrapped.
that's right.
And I bet she does a great job.
She's fantastic. Love you, Mama. All right. So speaking of wrapping it up, what are we wrapping up in our gardens for the end of the year? Like, what do we need to get done? Is anything pressing?
Nothing's pressing in my garden. I'm wrapping up my plans for when I start transplanting stuff and putting the rest of the stuff I have into the ground, which I will hopefully be doing over this little break we're going to have from Bates.
Yeah, we get a nice little break this year, so there's plenty of time to do stuff. I know I'm going to get cooped up, and there's going to be all sorts of stuff on the floors, presents and gifts and boxes and crazy with 3 kids in the house. So I'll be wanting to get outside and do something. Hopefully they'll come out and plant some trees with Dad.
Oh, yeah, I bet they will. Because you've got a few to plant.
I do.
You do.
They're going to help you chop some limbs. Choppy,
Maybe.
maybe.
They'll help me throw them in the woods. They love that.
Oh, I bet. Or burn some stuff.
We'll definitely burn some stuff. I was
Oh, yeah.
telling y'all earlier, I mean, the annual Christmas tree burning is like a thing. It's a sacrifice.
A
at my
rite
house.
of passage.
That's it. That's what I was looking for.
A
I
sacrifice.
didn't really mean a sacrifice. That's just kind of what came out. But yeah, the kids love it when I get out there and get all the boxes, all the tree. No, really what I'd like to do is get a big fire going with boxes, and then that Christmas tree goes on top once it's already hot. And then, yeah.
And then it goes up.
Uh-huh.
I've set a few Christmas trees on fire in my day. It's
so fun.
very fun to watch, especially if you can do it upright.
Uh-huh. I've done that before.
Yep. Me
Yeah.
too.
It was so fun.
And it was a little too close to my house for comfort when we did that one.
Yeah. Y'all,
I didn't live out in the country
be
yet.
careful. Far away from the house. Okay? But it's still fun.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it is.
But you know what? At the moment, Christmas tree is still up. Okay? So
Oh, yeah.
it ain't burning yet.
It's not time yet.
No.
Nope.
And I'd say you probably would take a couple days to burn it after Christmas. You're
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to just bring it down. All right, kids, you opened your presents. Let's get this Christmas tree out of here.
No, not
Get to
quite.
burning.
Yeah.
No, not that fast.
Not that fast.
It's a nice tradition to have. I bet your kids look forward to it.
They do. It's fun. Yep. Tyler, what's your Christmas plans?
Well, first of all, I'm going to bask in the warmth of my greenhouse.
Nice.
It is nice and toasty in there when the sun's shining through. And I'm just going to take in the smell of my blooming lime tree.
Ah, blooming
Ooh,
lime tree.
wonderful.
Fantastic. They smell so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best smells.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Like citrus blooms.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't beat them. And they're blooming this time of year typically.
Uh-huh. Just like Tyler's.
Yep.
You know what's cool is the blooms smell fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Like, love that. But if you've ever grown citrus and you pluck a leaf and you smash it and you crush it up real good and smell it, it smells like Fruit Loops.
Oh, it's the best. I look forward to the days in the greenhouse when we get lemon trees or lime trees in that are really outgrown and need to be shaped a little bit. And I get to prune them, and I will make lots of extra cuts on those branches just so I can smell it even more as I cut it down.
And it is exactly Fruit Loops.
Yeah, it really is. You were right about that.
Tricks,
It's
Fruit
crazy.
Loops, yeah.
Oh,
So y'all that are listening, if you haven't smelled it before,
cut
walk
up your
your-
lime tree.
cut out
And if-
your lime tree.
Yeah, and if you're in a country, listening to this in a country that doesn't have Tricks or Fruit Loops, I'm sorry that you haven't gotten to experience that, but that smell truly is kind of universal in that way.
Yep.
And I know that in Thai cuisine, a lot of the times, like in curries, lime leaves are used, and they are very delicious.
They're so good.
They add great flavor to a broth or curry.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Didn't know that.
Yep. Coconut milk and lime leaves.
Tyler, you always fill us in with all your knowledge of foods.
Tyler knows a lot about food.
Food
It's
stuff.
impressive.
I like food. I like discovering new flavors. Just like new plant cultivars, there's always something else out there that you haven't tried or explored.
So true.
There's always more to learn.
Always. Especially with plants. Good Lord. Constantly. Especially new cultivars. Going on a rant about
Oh, there's
that.
always new ones.
Ugh.
If
It's
somebody
great.
ever says they know everything about plants,
Hey, wrong.
they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There's
I'm-
no way.
I'm pretty much understanding that like somebody could find something that's the equivalent on a tree of like the tree's weird armpit hair, and then that becomes a new plant, right? Like a broom growth on a tree.
Yeah, like a witch's broom?
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
witch's broom.
I love how you went armpit hair for
Yeah.
that. I mean, I get it now.
I mean, you just gotta. I'm trying to think of an analogy, you know, of like, wow, what's this thing? You know, ooh, pluck. Oh, it's a whole new plant,
I know. Mutations.
a mutation.
They're great.
Sport.
We talked about that a little bit on the show.
We did. We went into
did.
that a little bit. Talked about dwarf Albertus
But
first.
unfortunately, I don't think it will be in the podcast episode because that was when we were talking about the plants that were in room that were on set.
Okay. So you gotta watch it.
So you've got to
To
watch
listen
that
to that.
broadcast to hear us talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
We go
That's-
into a little history on a dwarf Alberta spruce.
Yeah, and that's archived on the Gardening Inside Out YouTube page and Facebook page.
And plus, bonus, you get to see all of our faces while we're talking. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got a fashion G. Watch it because I've got a new fashion trend.
He's still
I'm
wearing
still excited. I've got it on right now. Y'all, fashion trend. Okay, this is going to be a thing. Christmas sweater tank tops. Look, cut the sleeves off your Christmas sweater, wear stuff underneath it, and you got a Christmas tank top.
And you got a Christmas muscle shirt.
That's
it's
it.
a muscle tank.
it. Yeah, don't call it a vest.
No, it ain't no vest.
It's a muscle sweatshirt.
Uh-huh.
And it's a homemade Christmas sweatshirt.
Homemade.
Which makes it even better.
I even cut the sleeves off myself. Can't believe that.
They're pretty even. I'm pretty impressed.
I did pretty good.
As a seamstress, I'm quite impressed by that.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Christmas tank tops.
There's nothing
New
you
thing.
can't do,
Y'all help
Austin.
me make this happen.
Yeah.
You helped yourself make it happen.
did.
I'm like standing here in awe.
I'm just, yeah. I mean, no, I mean, you never seen a Christmas tank top before?
No, I haven't.
That's right.
But you know what I have seen? Your large and gratuitous arm movements on the show.
I know.
I
Y'all
love
talk
it.
like that all the
Everybody
time.
else does. Don't ever stop doing it.
Yeah. My hands just go start doing stuff.
You just talk with your arms.
You're
You're,
waving,
animated.
you're
It's a good way
gesturing.
to be.
You got to show people scale somehow.
That's right. I'm showing them my chops when you got to chop something.
Yeah, chopping.
Oh, you are
Chopping.
very good at those air
Wingspan.
chops.
Sometimes you just like to spread out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do a lot.
I do that. But you got to watch the show to see it, okay?
That's right.
All right.
We're
Yeah.
giving you guys a little teaser right now.
Turn it on.
But I hope you guys have all been having a great holiday season out
Yeah.
there.
Being safe. Everything's good.
We're super thankful that you have listened all year long, and we're happy to be along on this journey with you. It's kind of cool to like chronicle. It's almost like a plant diary for us too, because we've chronicled all the little things that we've done in our spaces.
That's a great way to look at it, Tyler.
Yeah,
Right.
It's
Yeah.
our plant deer diary.
Yeah. And, we're always looking for new things, new ideas, new topics to talk about. When it gets, this gets a little tricky this time of year whenever we get into things that aren't really growing or we're not doing too much in the garden. So it's like, if y'all have things you want to talk about, y'all, Tyler or Caroline, tell them how to do that.
You can email us at gardeninginsideout@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram. You can DM us there. You can do the same thing on Facebook. You can also live stream the show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Central Time and ask questions live as we go through the broadcast. So it's pretty fun and very interactive. if you do want to wake up on a Saturday morning and check out the show. And we'd love to have you on there.
Yeah.
But this is still like I get more done sometimes in the winter in my garden.
Yeah, it's just like, what are the things we're getting done, and like what's getting us excited? This is the time of year where it's like, these aren't like really exciting things to do. Like, I mean, yeah, I'll give you, I like to prune a lot, but there's only so many things I can prune. But then like, I don't like leaf blowing, raking up leaves.
I thought you loved leaf blowing.
Well, no, I don't like getting up leaves all that much. That's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
He sure is
what I mean?
animated
It's like,
talking about it.
In the spring and growing season, we
when
are
you're
like
seeing everything, it's
excited.
very exciting. The way
Yeah.
I get myself excited about getting the winter projects done, cleaning up beds, transplanting stuff, pruning stuff, is I think about it's going to look so good in the spring when it wakes up. Because if I start moving these things once they're waking up, then it's going to be, it's going to push it back.
Yeah.
It's going to stunt it. I can't think of the word.
They're going to be stressed.
They're going to be stressed. But if I do it now, then everything's going to be clean. Everything's going to be in their proper home. And I can use my imagination to think about how magical it's going to be in the spring.
Okay.
So I'm
I get
trying to look forward to doing all the work I have to do this winter.
it. Okay.
We'll see if it happens.
I'm sure you'll get most of it done.
I hope so.
We'll see.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just the start of this. Ugh, just the start of this.
I know.
Boring plant season.
We're moving into that boring
What
plant
about
season.
experiments?
But hey,
You know,
I love experiments. I'm halfway a scientist.
You are halfway a
Well, I got a
scientist.
bachelor of science.
Me
But
too.
that don't make me a scientist. But still,
Mine definitely doesn't make
I'm
me
all
a
about
scientist.
science, Tyler. Experiments are great.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all saw. I showed it on the show this morning. I got bored the other night and made some sweet little bouquets in the house.
They are beautiful. That will be up on the Instagram and Facebook page, so you can just see that photo.
I was super proud of that. Like,
You
and it
should
was
be.
just stuff from my yard. It was boxwoods, junipers, and grasses,
And peppers.
and dried cayenne peppers to add a flavor of red.
a little succulent
Ooh.
touch.
Yeah.
String of
I
tears
did
were
string
in there.
of tears. I call them string of peas because they look like little
They
peas.
do look like little peas. You're
But
right.
anyway, it ended up super cute, and it was like 8:00 at night, and I was doing that. And I'm like, it's just something to do, but it made me happy, and it's still in my house right now, and it brings me joy.
And it's going to last a long time.
It will.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There are still bouquets to be made in the winter, y'all.
Oh, for sure. Foliage bouquets need to be more of a thing. It ain't just about flowers, people. Those leaves are great.
The leaves are fantastic.
Sticks are great. Red sticks are great.
Red
Yeah.
sticks are great. Dried hydrangea blooms, those are great. Silence.
Yeah,
Not my
he did not
fave.
respond well to that.
I love dried hydrangea blooms, just those with maybe some dried grasses and a vase through the winter. I think it looks good. You don't have to have water in it either because it's all dead.
That's a good point.
I like those birch poles.
Yeah, that's a look.
That's a look.
Yeah.
That's
You
a
might not
Christmas
want to
look
put them
for
in a
sure.
vase, though. Just in a
Oh,
bundle.
sorry, I didn't. I was just thinking, hey,
No, I know.
flowering.
I was just thinking about putting them in a vase, and I was like, that would be wild. You could put them in a pot. It'd be something.
I would love to grow my silver sword philodendron up on one of those.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Oh, up on a birch log?
yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like the white combined with like the silvery look.
I'm about that.
I
Kind of
think you
made
should
me
make
money.
that happen.
Yeah,
I think you can make it happen. I think this is your 2025 project.
yeah,
Get your silver sword up on a birch pole.
yeah. The next broadcast, you'll learn about all our resolutions.
Oh, yeah.
The upcoming Saturday broadcast.
All the things we want to do.
And I might add that to it, but we'll see.
All right.
Well, are we ready to go ahead and get in?
I think it's time.
Yes.
Let's dive on into our holiday episode.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yes.
Cheers. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
We'll see you in the new year on this podcast.
Is there a chance that we have questions, Caroline?
We do have a few this morning. Let's start
Wow.
with some holiday questions. We have talked about this a little bit, but best Christmas style trees to plant in our Nashville yard to decorate year after year.
Okay. There's a lot.
Christmas style trees.
Christmas style trees. I mean, the big three that we sell here mainly as a live Christmas tree or living Christmas trees are going to be Norway spruce, eastern white pine, and eastern hemlock. I like a hemlock.
Hemlock.
Do you?
Yeah.
I didn't think you did.
They're the least popular. At least this year they are. We have more hemlock left over than any eastern white pine or Norway
I
spruce.
love how they look.
They're very, what's the word? They're soft. They're soft textured.
They're a little whimsical.
needle-like.
They're a little difficult to hang ornaments
yes.
on.
I think that's the reason why they're probably the least popular because, Norway spruce is the goat, like I said last week. Joyce, you're welcome. Good morning. Like I said, they hold the lights the best. But, hemlock is great too. Hemlock's a great little tree. And I say little, they get big.
Hang some light ornaments on it.
Yes.
Nothing too heavy or crazy.
Be dainty with your lights, and they're great. Tuck them into the foliage. But there's a lot of different plants. I mean, there's a lot of ornamental trees, that can live in our yard just fine, that can act as Christmas trees. Caroline uses, what'd you use this year? Angel Falls Eastern White Pine?
Yes, I did.
And that thing's funky. That thing is downward turning, twisty
It grows
turning.
like this.
It does what it wants to do. There's no two alike, okay?
But I really am a strong advocate of that approach to a living Christmas tree is to get something that's atypical, something that's really not what you would expect at all. So using pendulous or weeping forms of conifers, even not using conifer at all, Japanese maple or other, you can put twinkle lights on you. There's all kinds of different ways you can do it and make use of getting a living tree in the house. And the good thing about a living tree right now is you can put it in and not worry about keeping it in too long before Christmas.
Got to get it today. I wouldn't have put it in.
Well, today, today's your day because, you could do it Monday, but you probably won't. So you get it done today.
I'm going to move my Christmas tree inside today because it's been on my driveway because I didn't want to bring it in too early, my Angel Falls white pine. So it's coming inside today and we're going to finish decorating it and finally wrap all the presents that we have to wrap.
There you go.
Always late.
I have two wrap presents that I left sitting outside. I was going to put them in my truck.
Uh-oh.
And my truck was locked. I guess, I got to get my keys. So I go back in my office to get my keys, and of course I got distracted. And about 5 hours later, I go, gifts! Fortunately, there was no precipitation yesterday, no worse for wear, but thank you, Ann, for doing a really nice wrap job for me on those.
She's a great rapper. Shout out to Ann. She works in our office.
She got the good beat.
And her desk is covered in Christmas right now. How many blow molds does she have?
Like
9?
9 total. Like 3 scenes on her desk. I told her yesterday she's the most festive one of the whole bunch this year.
She goes all out.
She's just the most festive, but Rachel's a close second.
Yeah, Rachel's up there too.
Oh, yeah. But I think Ann wins Christmas. Rachel wins Halloween.
Yeah,
if it was a competition, which it is not.
It's not, but I think you're right.
There y'all go again.
Turning everything into a competition. All right, let's get to another question. Should I wait until spring to plant my living Christmas tree from this year?
No, Lord, no.
No.
I mean, no. I mean,
Well, I
Get that
think
thing
y'all
planted.
answered that.
Matter of fact, to that point, get out there and get your hole dug. Where it's going to be, and go ahead and incorporate your amendments with it. This is really perfect conditions. Get that done, and if you need to cover it with a tarp or something, maybe it's raining after Christmas and you can't quite get it in the ground. That way, you're all ready to go quickly at the first opportunity. Now, there's nothing in the forecast that suggests the ground's going to be frozen or there's going to be severely inclement weather, but if you do those things, you really eliminate any excuse for not getting it planted. And the whole point of getting a living tree is for it to live.
Yes.
So if you get it planted correctly, make sure, regardless of the soil moisture conditions, you water it thoroughly. Soak it completely. Yes, it is to get moisture into the root ball and root system, but it's also to get those air pockets settled out of there. That can be very problematic. So be mindful of that.
Yep.
Wonderful. I wonder how soon I will plant my pine.
March.
Maybe November next
The
year.
white pines lose
We'll
their needles
see.
inside the house a little bit more than the others too. That's the thing I've noticed
Well,
about them.
yeah, and they're very susceptible to. You don't want them to get dry. And
Yeah.
if you're going to have a white pine in there, I strongly recommend ice cubes or put a bag of ice, pack it on top of the root ball, and it'll melt slowly. Keep the temperature nice and low, and keep it dormant.
Nice and
you
cool.
really don't want living trees to break dormancy, and that's why we only recommend a week to 10 days at most. At the very most.
Mine will be like 4 days. How's your Christmas tree? I know yesterday you were like, oh my gosh, I haven't watered it since I put it up.
I haven't.
Did
and
you
I have a
water
cut Christmas tree, okay? I got a cut one from a local nursery up the road. She's cool. Josh.
Wow.
But anyway.
That was me.
That was David.
David! Oh, there's
So
a first time
he
for
owned up
everything.
to it.
Somebody was calling me.
Naughty list.
Was that
Naughty list.
Santa calling?
John, I'll call you back after the show.
That was not Santa.
All right, but back to your cut tree.
It's fine. It must have been just I got it at a good time, I guess. We got it kind of early. Plenty of moisture still left because I've got like to no needle shed at all, like beneath the tree. My cat even gets up there and messes with it and stuff. And I don't see a lot of needle drop at all. And I have not watered it since I first did it.
Did you cut it in the field or did you buy it from a lot?
I bought it from a local
lot.
nursery up the
Okay.
road, yeah. She actually knows David, y'all. She knows you somehow. Y'all are, local nursery people. Yeah.
I've
You
been,
just know
I've been
everybody.
around a minute.
She's been there probably 30, 40, ever since I've been a kid.
Which
too.
nursery did you get it from?
It's just called like Pleasant View Nursery. It's up on 41A.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah, and good people. And yeah, we go there every year, get a cut tree, I throw it up, and yeah, it's been great. No needle drop at all. The tree is beautiful.
And then
it's
you
a good
set it
old
on
Fraser
fire.
fir. Oh, that's
yeah.
that's the best.
When you
the kids
burn your
love that.
tree.
Oh, it's a ceremonial thing when
Burning
the
it.
Christmas tree goes
The
out.
burning
The
of the
kids are
Christmas
with me.
tree.
We're lighting it up. See that fire from space. Love it.
You got to get it growing really good.
Yeah.
And then you take the whole tree all at one time and toss it right
That's
on.
right.
That is the definitive way to describe something as being large is how if it can be seen from the International Space Station. So, you gotta-
I called them. They were like, "Yeah, we see you down there in
called him.
Chapmansboro."
Gave
yeah.
him a little.
It's going to be bringing
ring.
those UAPs in, though, baby. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be doing a whole lot of attention out here these days.
yeah, what some people from outside our planet will go to, the links they'll go to get a little attention.
Attention, yeah.
Well, take a photo or video of you burning that Christmas tree.
Will do.
Because I know everybody watching wants to see it.
Yep.
All right, Norfolk Island Pine Care after Christmas. These are
Hey.
great little trees. We had them on the show, I think, last week, maybe the week before.
I'm
and
going to say it's the same as the care before Christmas.
Before Christmas, yes. Yeah, you want to keep it living. It's not a throwaway plant, just like people think about poinsettias. But it is a great house plant. It can handle really low light, but it can also handle a ton of direct sunlight. So direct sunlight is what it typically wants in its natural habitat. But I find mine that I keep in my house all year actually handles lower light. It doesn't grow as fast, and there is more space between each branch, but it does great. They're super easy to maintain. Let the soil dry out just enough before you water. They don't like to sit dry for a very long time. Those needles will get really dry and then really, really pokey. But other than that,
There's
it's
nothing
easy.
worse
a
than pokey.
Norfolk.
I know. It's the worst. I mean, it will get into your fingers, under your nails. When they're nice and green and living, they're very
The
soft.
only thing worse than pokey Norfolk Island pine is Gumby. Norfolk
that's
Island
right.
pines. That's the only thing worse.
Jeepers.
Now, Caroline, when
But
you,
what
when you
is
trim
better than
these,
that?
because they will outgrow your house. I mean, I've seen them
Yeah,
40
They
feet
will.
tall
It
in the
doesn't,
wild.
it doesn't. It takes a minute though.
You just, it does, but you just top the top of them.
Yeah, you can. It's going to
they
make it
look-
look a little weird. And
they
they
look
do.
funky.
They will eventually grow if you top them, but they take a really, really long time to push out new growth.
They don't like that terminal bud being taken out of them. I mean, now a lot of them that are grown anymore in greenhouses have multi-stuck cuttings where they have like more than one plant in there, and they shear them to make them thick. And I don't like them.
Yeah. But if you look on Facebook, Marketplace, you will see them for sale all the time or people giving them away because they get so big. One of our greenhouse workers, Patty, had one that she got here at the nursery. It was a little 4-inch pot. And now it is, 8 feet tall, and the span is about 5 foot.
And Patty's a real gardener too.
Patty is a true gardener. She always watered her Norfolk Island pine with Miracle Grow every time. And I think that's one of the things that did it, but it ended up eating her living room, so she had to give it away.
I saw my mother once was down in Miami a couple years ago on vacation, and she sent me a picture. She was like, "What is this tree?" And I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And then finally it dawned on me. I was like, "That's a Norfolk Island pine," and it was like 30 foot tall in the
Easy.
person's front yard.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Perfect. Picture perfect. But like y'all said earlier, it still had that very terminal main stem that was going up, and that was the leader.
And they do look quite different when they're a full sun
man.
growing in a tropical or at least semi-tropical environment. They're very thick and full. They're very symmetrical.
It was dense.
I think that they were moved around the world in these tropical areas.
Was the English and the Portuguese and the
for
Dutch?
mast.
Yes, for mast on sailing
Because
ships.
they grow these really perfectly straight
Yeah.
central stems on them. So you just got to wait like.
There's a grove on the road to Hana on Maui
Yeah.
that has them. It's absolutely
At
stunning.
least there used to be.
There used to be.
I don't know if there still is or not.
But yeah, you can bring that
It
home
was on the
I've been
windward.
there.
and you can pot it in something. Gardening Inside Out is brought to you by Earth Mix Garden Products, creating regionally sourced high-quality soil blends and amendments for the sustainable-minded gardener. Fall and winter are great times to plant in the Southeast, and Earth Mix can help you with Landscape Soil Conditioner. Mix Landscape with your native soil to feed all winter long. Added mycorrhizal fungi help your plants get established faster and increase hardiness through the year ahead. Visit earthmix.net for more information and retailers near you. Remember, success begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix garden products.
What also is good?
What is good?
Yeah.
Is it time?
It's time.
Tyler, we never made a jingle, but that's okay.
Like I said, the goat with Austin.
There it is, Tyler. On the spot. Great work, Tyler. All right.
I am a producer
You are and the best.
of noises from my mouth.
Showrunner.
All right. We're going with something. We're going Christmas themed, okay? So look, deck the halls with
Going
boughs of
Christmas.
holly. Holly. We're going with the goat of hollies, okay? What do we know about hollies? A lot, right?
It's
Do we?
hard to dig them up.
Yeah.
kill 'em.
They're living machines.
They're pokey.
They're pokey.
pokey.
I know all the
Back
bad
around
things
to
we're
that
talking.
word.
But they're great holiday plants. And just great plants in general. Okay, what do we know a little bit about hollies is that they're male and female. They're dioecious, okay? So they have male and female flowers on different plants, okay? So we need typically pollinators from a male to make the berries on the female, okay? That's how that works.
This is our little birds and the bees.
Yes, that's the
The
little
talk.
bit of talk
We're
on
having the
that,
talk.
okay? So we need to know that if you never see a holly with berries, it either is a female that's never been pollinated or it's a male, okay? Both of them flower. We have to remember this. Both beautiful flowers in the spring, all right?
And if you look closely, you can discern that just by the foliage. Foster holly is one of those that's a really great example of what Austin's talking about here. And the male hollies have kind of a twisted leaf to them, just a bit. So you can tell by looking at them whether they have berries or not, whether it is or it isn't, and which one the case it may be. So it's interesting to think, and a lot of people do believe that, well, if it doesn't have berries, it must be a male. Not necessarily. It just
Not always
may
the
not
case.
have gotten pollinated.
Exactly.
Or somebody is too aggressive in trimming
Yeah.
at the wrong time, and they shear all the flowers, therefore the berries off.
And there's a number of hollies out there. Many a shrub holly, some that stay really small, some that get very big. I'm going to go with the GOAT, if you ask me, which is the Nellie R. Stevens holly. Okay? This is a large growing holly. This is by far my favorite screening option for a dense evergreen screen to block out whatever you want to block
You
out.
know, I think there's been a lot of good cultivars of the red hollies and all that have come along, but I don't think any of them really do as well what Nellie Stevens holly does.
Agreed.
They have that beautiful, dark, thick foliage. They are good berry producers. It's been one of those plants that's been really hard to improve on.
Yeah.
I think they've tried, but I don't think the others. They may be slightly different and have their own place, but Nellie Stevens is tried.
So,
and
what's the
true.
proper way to harvest a bough of holly? I mean, you just go pick them out from the
Go
bottom.
cut it,
and
man.
Go cut it. get
Just
it.
go cut it. Yeah, bring it into the house with all the berries and all
Just
the good
go
stuff.
cut it.
Yes.
Did you decorate your mantle with some this year? I know you always get into that.
No, I don't have a Nellie R. Stevens holly in the yard. I could use one, I guess.
I got
It's kind of
one.
weird to just use one, though. You know, it's like that screening plant. But like
I
we're
have
saying,
one. Are you calling my yard weird?
You don't have a Nellie Stevens holly.
It's
do you?
something.
It's a holly, but it's not a Nellie.
Well,
Come on,
it's
Caroline.
a single holly.
Anyway,
I did not plant it.
Nellie R. Stevens holly. Y'all Google it, look it up, get you one, get you a few. They're great. It is the GOAT when it comes to hollies. Like David said, there's a lot of red holly hybrids out there that are okay, but they're not Nellie. Nellie is a hybrid as well, just so you know. But it's a consistent berry producer, even without a pollinator, which is really weird. I don't really know how to explain it all that much, but Nellie, even without a pollinator close, can still berry up pretty good. So great berry production through the winter. Great for birds, the wildlife that gets in there, tucks in. It's great. Y'all, use Nellie R. Stevens holly. Fun fact, holly, the American holly specifically, is the state tree of Delaware.
Really?
Really. So you know what? Delawareans rejoice. It's Christmas.
Wow.
Happy holidays. You're welcome. Like I said,
and here's
Nellie R. Stevens.
Here's a fun
That's
little
the goat.
fact for all of you who I'm sure are just curious. You know what the R stands for in Nellie R. Stevens?
I don't.
Rebecca.
Hey.
Nellie Rebecca Stevens.
Nellie Rebecca
for
Stevens.
She seems like a fun time.
Yeah.
It does. Like a,
She just
I don't know where that came from, but she made a great holly. And it's Christmas.
She did. So there's that.
Yep. Caroline's over here looking up Nellie R.
I
Stevens
am because
holly on
mine
Google
kind of
right
looks like that.
now. Yeah, it's similar.
You
It's
don't know
not
what
a-
kind of holly I
I've seen
have.
that holly. I've seen that holly.
know
It's
what
not a
that-
Nellie. It's all good though.
what are you going to do with him? I mean, you're so exacerbated.
What am I going to do with
Yeah,
it?
you're so exacerbated.
Well, it was cut down when I bought my house, and I
okay.
didn't think anything. Well, there was just an old stump, and then it started growing and growing, and
They
now
do
it's
that.
it's like probably about 6 foot tall at this point,
Let's
and it's
talk about
going
that.
to start growing into my driveway. But I know that I cannot kill it off.
Yeah,
and it looks cute. It's a good shape.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
You can't
Let's do
just, if you hate your hollies that are in front of your house, your shrub hollies or whatever, they get too big, you got to trim them 3 times a year. You know how it is. Like hollies can be misused a lot. So let's know that. Right up next to your house on your home, they can be a great hedge if you want to trim 3 times a year, typically. But if you hate your hollies and you want to get rid of them, you cut them to the dirt, you're not getting rid of them.
No.
You're just making them mad. They're right back up 3 or 4 feet.
Well, and to that point, when we have on a few occasions had some severe winters. And people go out there and they go, they're dead, and they cut them off. And then they maybe plant something nearby. Just,
Right beside it.
and
Right
then-
beside it, yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah, your holly's back.
yeah, it's back and it's taken over.
Yeah.
So, because what people don't realize is that the root system is not harmed. It's still, it's got all this energy stored in it. It's coming back, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I like how mine looks right now. It's very clean. It's got a nice shape, but I know very soon it will be growing into my driveway. Luckily, it's far away from my house, like an acre away from my house. So
An acre away.
acre.
an
away.
acre
It's
away.
not an
I
acre
measure in
away.
birth
How many bird baths is that, Caroline?
It's a lot of bird baths. It is a lot.
Yeah, an acre is an area measurement. So,
Well, my front yard is an acre from my house, so this holly is at the end of my driveway, making it a full acre
How about
away
the
from my
time and
house.
distance conundrum that we have here?
Oh, man.
How long does it take to get there?
Okay, but while we are talking about hollies, I will say that one person in this room has managed to get rid of their holly.
Who's that? Is it that elf on the shelf over there?
That
There he
quiet
is.
little elf.
Me.
Didn't you cement over it?
No, the cement hasn't happened yet. But
Oh.
I did use a Sawzall, which is Austin's favorite tool,
Yeah.
to cut out the roots. And let me tell you, those roots were easily, I mean, the main root of the holly was easily like 1.5 feet in the ground. So, and very large. I think that those were at least 10 plus years old.
in that particular application, I prefer a backhoe.
Yes.
Try to, yeah.
It's a,
Tried
I
that
have-
at Grandpa's
I have
house
dug
one
my
time.
share of stumps out of the ground, and at the nearly 69 years of age, that's a past tense deal for me. I don't.
There ain't no stump that's fun to dig, let's be honest. But hollies are top of the list, not fun.
Nope.
Yeah, mine will
Boom.
live forever. All right, we got some live questions
Yes, we
in.
did.
Have you guys noticed the leaves on some deciduous trees in our area went from green to gray and brown without much fall color? I've noticed it on some sweet gums and Japanese maples in town. Any thoughts on what this may be? And this comes from Michael.
Yeah. And I've seen this too. And what's funny is we've seen a lot of both. Like we've seen a lot of good fall color out there, and then we have also seen a lot of what this guest is talking about.
Yeah, we've seen fall color that lasted way longer and well beyond what it
Yep.
normally does. And then there's this, where that it
I think it's just an individual thing. It's an individual plant thing, where it's at in the yard. We did have a drought this year, y'all. Let's not forget. Like in the summer, it was unbelievably hot and dry for a while.
I was convinced that we weren't going to have fall color at all.
Me too.
And it actually turned out to be a pretty good fall color season.
It did.
I was pleasantly surprised. But not everything fared well during the drought, and so it did show up on some things. And I think that's what is it, Michael, who saw those conditions on some of the sweet gums and other things. Maybe
Michael, yeah.
Maybe it's just in the spot where they were planted. They got a little drier than some of the other things around, and it does not mean anything. It does not mean that it won't resume to normal growth and function next year. It just is a one-off kind of a deal. So perhaps it's in an area that drains really well, or it just had an off year. I've had off years in my life.
We've all had off years.
Exactly.
Decades. All right, and somebody just arrived to the party a little bit late, but we heard from Joyce finally.
Hey, Joyce.
I was wondering when we would hear from you. Joyce asks, what's the goat of small shrub holly? Hugendorn, soft touch? A lot of question marks.
Okay, I like this, Joyce. And for me, all day long, it's Hugendorn. I really like that holly. It's a soft leaf Japanese holly. And it's tidy. It doesn't poke you at all. It stays tight. It's fluffy. And what I like the most about it is that for some reason, we don't really notice holly flowers all that much. The bees do. Trust me. Y'all need some good pollinators. Bees love hollies, okay? But with Hugendorn specifically, it seems like the flowers are just like more noticeable than the other ones. They're not as tucked in the foliage.
And Hugendorn has been the great replacement to Hellerii holly. That was the only really other low-growing kind of a Japanese holly, an Ilex crenata, and the crenata simply meaning it's a Japanese holly, which is the one of the other designations of the subgroup that it's within. But all soft leaf, no needles. They are evergreen. If they have berries, they're black. Have you ever seen those with berries on them?
Pretty rare. Very rare.
Yeah. So and typically people trim them so much. Again, you wind up trimming whatever berries there could be on there off. So it would only apply to those that perhaps are not getting trimmed regularly. But Hugendorn is a great Japanese holly.
And then back to the question we were talking about before. Jack says, my Ryusin maple went from solid green to brown in 5 days. Is that what happened with yours?
No, not really. I actually had a pretty good fall color year on my Ryusin maple this year. But they're individuals, like we were just talking about. Every year is different, and yours is a little in a different spot than mine. And for some reason, the climate that it's in and the moisture down below, whatever, something was different. And I've definitely, last year, my Ryusin showed no fall color hardly at all, like not good. And every year, Japanese maples specifically are different, like just different in Middle Tennessee. Like you just get ready for that. So stick with it. It's still a beautiful weeping green leaf Japanese maple that everyone should have.
And I've got an autumn blaze maple, which is a red maple, silver maple hybrid. And it's a very fast growing. It's a tree I planted, I'm going to say 6 or 7 years ago, as a replacement to a very large sugar maple, 120-year-old tree that we had to have removed. And it has a really nice fall color, but it's pretty short-lived. I mean, the color is typically gone in a flash. Now, this year, it held on. The leaves themselves held on, and the color was much better. Now, I don't know.
Mine did too.
I don't know whether that's a function of the tree getting a little older and it's hanging on, or if it was a function of the weather we had. We had some dry weather, then we got rain, then it got cold, then it got warm again, and then it's cold again. It's very unusual how that the same tree from one year to the next can exhibit different characteristics with respect to color and the transition thereof.
It's true. Every year's different.
Is. Speaking of trees, suggestions for a fast-growing, large ornamental tree.
How about an autumn blaze maple?
Yep.
We just talked about it.
There's a number of fast-growing trees, but some of the top three for us is going to be our state tree, which is tulip poplar, our river birch, which is very ornamental for its bark. Other than that, not anything. The bark is mainly what we grow that for. Weeping willow, extremely fast-growing, extremely ornamental.
Everybody loves those. Spot.
Yeah, you need a wet spot and not close to your water lines. Not close to your house or water lines. Keep it away from that. But those are
They will lay down.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
What else is fast growing? Catalpa. That's random.
Yeah.
It's a fast growing
and that's
tree.
a great one. You have one.
I do.
Is
Have you planted
catalpa
yours?
considered a native here, or is
The
it?
northern catalpa, I think, at like the bottommost part of our state. I think. Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
Maybe,
naturalized
perhaps.
though, y'all. Catalpa lives here
it's
great.
fine.
What a great tree.
It's like calling a hackberry not native. I mean, yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Additional support for Gardening Inside Out is brought to you by Bates Nursery and Garden Center, a third-generation nursery located in Nashville, Tennessee, and 20-time recipient for Nashville's Best Garden Center, offering the widest selection of new arrivals for fall, like specimen conifers, Japanese maples, and pansies in nearly every color. Open year-round, minutes from the heart of Nashville in beautiful Whites Creek, Tennessee. Browse their selection online anytime at batesnursery.com. Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932.
You want to know a fun fact about dwarf Alberta spruce?
Yes.
It's a sport mutation off of just regular old white spruce.
Exactly.
Some old boy
Is it
back
really?
in the day. Yeah, some old boy back in the day found this big white spruce growing, and then he saw this, what we call like kind of bird's nest in it or whatever, a super tight habit growth, okay? He harvested cuttings off of that. They got them to root and live, and they're stable now as dwarf Alberta spruce.
Cool.
You know what's cool about this too is that they can revert sometimes. I once went to a house in Murfreesboro. This guy had a dwarf Alberta spruce down here. It was like 5 feet tall, perfect, just like that, tight dwarf Alberta spruce. And then it reverted, sent another stem way up, and it turned back into just regular old white spruce. So it was like a 20-foot tall tree that was normal white spruce, and then dwarf Alberta spruce down here by like 5 feet.
And then
it was incredible.
And
Is
then
it over
there's
there by the
another.
college?
Huh?
Is it over there by the college?
Well, it was in Murfreesboro, yeah. I mean, it was kind of close to MTSU where I went.
And then there was another sport taken off dwarf Alberta spruce that was found that's now sold under the name of John's Dilly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is more dwarf than.
Those are tiny.
And even tighter, smaller needles. Like
yes.
that's a tight one. Yeah, that's nice. So anyway,
They
dwarf
are
Alberta
cute.
spruce. There you
All
go.
right. Perfect.
Yep.
We've got some more live questions, and we got a question from Linda. Linda is asking, my Crimson Empress Japanese maple is naked. I bought it from Bates 15 years ago. Will it survive?
Naked. Well, it's time to be naked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
My Japanese maples are all, I have one that's holding on to some crispy leaves, but
Yeah, and some of them will hold on to leaves a little bit longer, but if it's bare now, that's normal. I mean, you know.
It's
It
had it
is-
15 years. It
it-
sounds like it's unusual
Yeah,
for
it
this
is the
particular
dormant season.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
So normally, do they, again, I guess, Linda, we would want to know whether does it usually do this, or do the leaves usually hang on and just
Well-
brown and leaf,
And like stay there.
And,
Yeah.
and
That
for
can
whatever
happen.
reason, we've had a number of questions today that have delved into this area, and it's particularly obvious when you're looking at deciduous trees and shrubs is that they don't exhibit exactly the same growth habit from one plant to the next or one season to the next.
Yep.
So it's just that it somehow reacted to whatever it got this year a little different than what it has in years past. Doesn't mean it's dead.
I noticed that on YouTube, where Linda was watching, that we have a former president of the United States watching. So, good morning, Mr. Clinton. How are you?
There
Bill?
you go.
wow.
Yeah.
All right, and Joyce asked a question. Thoughts on serviceberry trees? Will a number 15 clump fit in the back of my car?
Joyce, we will get that in your car. Y'all know how good we are at getting trees in cars? We are fantastic at it.
Particularly at this time of year when wind burned is not an issue.
Uh-huh.
So
Yep.
you know, stems are not going to be hurt. So yeah, this is a great time of year to. It doesn't matter if it's all sticking out.
Yeah.
Just we'll get the root ball in there, and you can do 75 if you want to all the way home.
I
Just-
have to.
The police
Gotta roll the
may
windows down, though.
The police
Tyler?
may not want you going that fast, but
Yeah.
I jumped the gun a little bit. I have to share a personal anecdote. I was with Austin.
do you
when
have
we
background
fit-
music to go with it? I just anecdote music.
No. Oh, there you go.
Yes.
So I was with Austin one time on the lot, and This guy was like, okay, I want to buy these two. What were they? Tailored junipers or the emerald green arborvitae?
Emerald, I think.
I think they were emeralds, and and so he was like, but I have a Honda Accord, so how are we going to get them in there? And Austin and I somehow figured out to cross them over each
I
other
remember
and
this.
roll down the rear windows
Oh, I
and
remember
stick
that.
them out the sides. So about 3 feet of the arborvitae were sticking out either of the windows of the Accord.
Yeah.
But
It's
we
a
made
ta-
it work.
It's a
Hey.
talent. It's a talent. 'cause
I
it-
had-
you'd be amazed at how many bags of sackcrete will go into a Volkswagen bus.
Well, back speaking of Volkswagen, my most proud moment was I had a guy that bought 4 bald and burlap weeping willows. They're like 8 to 10 feet tall. This is way back in the day, and he was in a VW Bug, and his 4 of these, with a root ball, this big on it. So it's they're not little bitty. So we had to get him in the car, and we put one on each corner and crossed them over the roof towards each other and tied them down
Yeah.
together. And I don't know how he got out, except I guess he had to climb out the window.
I'm just going around the corner.
But no, he was going some distance. So anyway,
Yeah.
I would have loved to have had a picture. I only have the mental image. It was a proud moment.
Yeah, for us out here, we take great pride in getting your plants home with you, okay? So we'll make it work. And Joyce, for
Especially
you,
this one.
oh, love it. But all of us, we all love it a little bit. Like,
well,
we take pride in getting that thing home for you.
Yeah, and not just getting them in there in a form that assures you of arriving home with them in the same kind of condition that you left in. So if you're driving down the road with plants standing up in the back of your vehicle, you probably didn't come here to get them.
No.
Correct.
Because we
No.
don't.
And don't freak out when they put them in there and they just start laying them down and they grab them up by the things and just throw them down in there because these are professionals out here at Bates Nursery.
We know how to
So,
handle
yeah,
plants.
we
Trust
do.
us.
So,
Don't be nervous.
We do handle a bunch.
So let's
we do.
handle our opinion on serviceberry trees.
Okay.
I like raspberries.
Amelanchier.
Yeah, most people do.
Wow, we never answered that question.
I'm wrapping back around. It'll fit.
Yeah, I mean, our general manager here, Adam Chapman, shout out. He loves his serviceberry trees. He
does.
makes serviceberry muffins every year. They're fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
service
They're
berries
kind
are
of
so
a cross
good.
between a cranberry and a blueberry flavor profile. I would describe it.
And the
but they're
seeds, the
wonderful.
seeds taste a little
Tots.
almondy.
Ooh.
Hey, so yeah, great native,
Yeah,
great native fruit tree.
yes.
That's underused.
Sounds like we'll see Joyce today, perhaps.
Of course we
I
will.
always wondered why.
Because there is a sale going on. So,
true.
yeah.
It is, it's the botanical name is Amelanchier canadensis, and that would suggest that it comes from Canada. How did it get designated with that? Do you know?
And they use that species
Canadensis,
name as like a
Canadensis or Japonica or Chinensis. They kind of. I don't know that there's as many of them in Canada as there are here, but somehow they got
they
labeled
use
with
yeah they use that for like an East Coast type of plants too, like Cercis canadensis, the red bud. They use
Yes.
that. There's a lot of them. But
Interesting.
anyway,
And
is there another picture? Tom?
Pinterest finds something interesting. There's no more photos.
What? I sent you a photo last night,
No,
Tyler.
there
is
is
there?
a photo. I'm sorry, I forgot to
I did
queue it up.
this.
Tsuga canadensis.
Yeah, the hemlock. Eastern hemlock. They use that for like Eastern.
All right, while
things.
Tyler's getting to that, I do want to read this one comment that came from Ben Tress saying,
Benny!
is that bronzing on those arbs in the back? Chef's kiss.
Benny,
It's
you're funny.
patina.
That's what arbs do, and that's why he brought that up because he wants people to know that arborvitae bronzes over the winter. And good job, Ben,
And
because
there's
they
nothing
do.
wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing is happening.
Part of life.
Well,
Ben knows.
it's that extra bit of color that Mother Nature provides that doesn't come during the growing season. It's that winter interest that keeps us interested in the garden.
It's almost too
That's
bad they
correct.
don't stay that same color all year round.
See, I don't know, Josh. I don't love the bronze.
You don't.
I like it, but I like it as a seasonal thing.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want it to look like that year round.
And there are a number of golden type of
Yes.
of conifers
Those
that
are my
really get
favorites.
much more intensely golden, and the bronze is a different kind of a hue. So
Put 'em
you
together.
know, I like what it does, and the blues get much more intensely blue
Yes.
during the wintertime.
Purpley.
Yep.
All right.
All right, Austin, I'm proud of you for this photo
I'm proud of this.
because the colors are
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah.
Y'all, I got bored the other night. Decided to do something. I got this last Christmas, these 3 little jars. And you know what? I harvested things from all around the yard, and this is what I came up with. And look, in the middle there are dried up chili peppers.
Cool.
I use that in the arrangement.
Look at that.
Yes, dried up chili. There's my all gold
Is that
juniper.
rosemary?
There's boxwood, of course, green velvet boxwood, the goat. We'll talk about that soon. And then look, Carolina, I put the string of peas.
Yes, I see that. Well,
down.
now we're
There they
it
are.
is.
Look at the two corners. The string. I call them
String
string
of
of peas.
tears.
They're string of tears, but that's sad. So string of peas because they look like green peas, green beans. That all came from the yard, y'all. And I was like I
Those
said,
string of tears came from your yard.
no, those came from
I'm just
inside my
kidding.
house.
I
And
know.
you know,
In a pot.
that's a little arrangement that will last for a
Ever.
really long time and not
Yes.
do anything
That is
else
gorgeous.
to it. So,
Y'all walk around your yard and make arrangements. It's so fun this time of year. There's nothing else to do. I mean, there is other things, but at nighttime, at like 8 o'clock at night, there's nothing else to do with your plants. So do that. Go out and cut stuff. I was cutting boxwood at 8 o'clock at night, and it was kind of rainy.
You were cutting boxwood in the pitch black in the rain.
Yeah.
And that's worth it. It was really gorgeous.
I love
We're
that.
proud of you
well,
here.
Thanks.
we're in the wind up phase here of the program.
Sure are.
Wind
So
down.
That's
wind
right.
We are.
In fact, we've just cued the band to start playing.
Yeah, you did, Tyler.
Our live band is playing right over
yeah,
there.
we do have a live band in studio every morning.
thank you
if didn't
guys.
know
We don't
that.
Yes,
really
for
ever acknowledge them.
Nah, they're
but-
the background noise.
Thank you, band. We
Not
just
to
call them
mention the
band.
servers over there, taking care of them. Hey, folks, make your list. Check it twice because there's a guy coming around on Tuesday night, maybe into Wednesday morning. Make sure you're there.
Get
And
well,
be-
Greg Hall.
Absolutely, be
Go
good because
Vols.
we want you to be here next Saturday morning because we're going to.
Hey, we're going to be here
That's
for
right.
New Year's.
That's right. Balls for life. Go crazy. Bring home a win. Appreciate you.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas sweater tank tops. Y'all get on board. Get on board.
Thank you for tuning into the Gardening Inside Out podcast. If you're looking for more information or more from your hosts, don't forget that we have a live Saturday morning broadcast, 8 a.m. Central Time on YouTube and Facebook. You can also follow us on our Instagram channel. That's @Gardening Inside Out for more posts, reels, and in-depth dives to topics and things we've discussed on the show. If our content resonates with you, consider giving us a follow, like, and subscription on all of our social media pages. See you next time.